You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, stand up, sit down.
Superman.
All right, there it is.
Fantastic.
Welcome, guys, to another exciting episode of Stand Up, Sit Down. I'm your host, Nick Perdue, and I'm here with the hilarious, the talented Mr. BT Kingsley.
Oh, hey, everybody. I like to always pause like it's a picture. So it's not a picture, it's a video. What's up, man?
How are you?
What's up, people out there watching the show?
Yeah, man. We're live right now.
We are live right now. Appreciate you watching and enjoying yourself. Get your popcorn. It's going to be a good one.
First of all, you know it's hot outside, and you are in this vest and black and scarf.
Absolutely.
And why?
Well, the vest doesn't have sleeves, so my arms is cool. And it's not real leather, so it's very light. This is that Kanye, you ain't got the answer sway leather.
Right.
This is leather, but it's not exactly leather. So you ain't got the answer sway leather. So it's actually pretty light. And I always have summer scarves. So I can see you through it. Hold up some fingers.
Yeah, you. Right.
Eight to 9 fingers, a lot of fingers. You know you got them fingers.
I mean, no, because your style is second to none, from the haircut to the light up shoes. You know, you are definitely someone who, you know, that's definitely BT.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just be trying to do me. You know what? Somebody got mad at me the other day because I didn't have on light up shoes, but it was the daytime. I was like, they don't really have the same effect in the daytime.
Yeah, it's
nighttime.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because anybody who's known me through the comedy years, it's always been something. I've always kind of just been attached to something. I used to do 2 watches till I got this one. This one's really nice.
There you go.
I couldn't afford 2 of these. I couldn't do it. I used to buy 2 cheap watches as opposed to 1 good one. And people like, why you got on 2 watches? I got no time for the bull. You hear me? One for the hours and one for the minutes. I do the scarves. I don't know. It's just it makes me feel like I normally do it over. It makes me feel like a boxer coming to the ring, like specifically for stage stuff. But you know, sometimes you just be in the room in the hoping to get up. Right. And then it just became like an everyday thing. The light up shoes, I saw them and I talked myself into them. I had to call a couple people like, are you gonna judge me if right now? I'm buying some light up shoes. They're not for my nephew. They're not LA Gears, but I do have to charge them, and I'm probably gonna buy these. And I bought them, and one of the smartest purchases I've ever made.
Yeah, because I mean, people won't forget it, you know, like, and they're not wheelies, because people do the whole wheelies thing, and
absolutely,
so, you know, this is
a little
something
weird.
Yeah,
I wanted some wheelies.
I'm sure you did.
We all do.
I don't.
Let's take a moment. Perdue, if you could just glide in the rooms from time to time, if every place you went had cafeteria flooring,
right,
would you want some wheelies?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, you know, sliding into the club, right?
Yeah.
Hey, girls, hey. Shimmy, hey.
Yeah, man.
So let's jump right into it. So because you're from Sacktown, then Houston, Texas, right?
Absolutely.
So were you a funny kid growing up, or were you like that awkward kid?
I've come to the conclusion all my humor is kind of for me. And I just hope that people join in with me sometimes. Okay. When I was little, I was the little kid. You know how you ask little kids what you want to do in life? You'd be like, oh, what do you want to do? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a doctor. When they came to me, it would always be, I want to be a woman beater. And it was just to see the reaction of a 7-year-old telling you this. And the look on people feel like, what? It was like, it was just for me. And that's always been my humor. It's always just been this like awkward thing for me.
You were like a little mischievous, just little crafty kid, right?
I was smart though, so like I could get away with it. Like I could get all the homework done and then just keep asking the question that's in the subject, but really don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about.
With anything.
Yeah.
So but were you like a class clown then? Like did you kind of cut up a little bit?
Yeah, but I wasn't the favorite. You know, there's always like a class clown. Like I was like second or third tier. Right. Yeah, I'd always have like great dates. It was like Gilbert Arenas. Like sometimes he's gonna put up 50.
Right.
But you know, nobody's trying to draft him like that. It was like that kind of thing. Like they had their class clown, and I'd just be over there and be like, what are we what you doing? Okay, cool, like that.
So you were full of tags.
Yeah, man. It's because I was born in Cali. I was born in Northern California, but I moved to Houston when I was, 7 or 8. So all elementary school, middle school. So I was Houston, Texas people, they about Texas.
Yeah.
I understood that this wasn't, land's not normally flat. There's normally mountains and there's water.
Yeah.
And it's blue, not like in Galveston where it's like a dark
Brown, right.
green. Yeah. So, there was always an understanding. Always understanding.
Okay. So what did your parents think when you said, I want to go ahead and try this whole stand-up thing for real?
The funny part is my mom is coming around now. If you can't tell people out there, I am colored, so I kind of know my dad, So his impression was, oh yeah, I'll give you some jokes and stuff. I'm like, thanks, let's just talk. I haven't seen you in years. Can we have a discussion?
Just be here with me.
Just be here present. I don't need direct from me. I'm good. But my mom, she's starting to see it because she's been to shows. She appreciates like the things that are happening. She's like, oh, and even when I did it and wasn't working, but there was money coming in, she was like, it didn't register.
Right.
I mean, but I couldn't blame it. It didn't register for me. Yeah. I decided what I was gonna do my sophomore year of high school. I knew I was going in entertainment. I just didn't know at what angle. I didn't know comedy was something you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes just like a trade in the entertainment field.
Is it weird though, like performing in front of your mother?
No, not for me. Me and my mom were like super cool. Like me and my mother's relationship is so cool it makes other people uncomfortable.
Got you.
Can I cuss on here?
Okay, lightly.
So I'll edit it. My mother speaks of me in a way sometimes where it has led to situations with her friends. So yeah, she'll be like, blah blah blah. It was a girl over here, and she was screaming and da da da. And I told them not to have girls in here. And then they'd be like, really? And then I'd be like, Mom, your homegirl got it. She's like, I can't be friends with her no more. Like we're that close.
So basically, what you're saying is that you were taking down your mama's friends.
There was times. It's definitely happened before. Absolutely.
Wow.
More than once.
Wow. but like, were they like friends of, or like were they mothers of your friends and then or were they just like your mother's friends?
They were just like my mother's friends,
okay,
or like her
so it
coworkers.
wasn't like weird or anything.
I mean, there's still time.
School,
there's still time. Everybody go to bed. That's hilarious.
How come BT can still be up? What's going on?
Shout out to David Arnold. I don't know where that jumped in out of my mind. Everybody go to bed.
So what was your first show like?
Wow. First show was at a club on the north side of Houston, split right down the middle, north side, south side. And north side people don't really mess with the south side. It's like Slim Thug and Chameleonaire over here, and the Ghetto Boys. It's totally different. So on the north side of Houston, there's a place called The Joint. I walked in, and RP Alpha Rose, he was like, yeah, man, you want to do this? And I, like, still to this day, I didn't know it was something. I was like, I could just do it? And they was like, yeah. I was like, well, not today. I'll be back in a week. And he was like, okay. And I came back the next day, and I haven't not been on stage since. And the first time on stage, in my mind, I was going to kill it.
Right.
I was going to destroy. I had B2K had just broke up as a group. And I said, I'm going to go. I say, one of my first jokes, I'll never forget this. I said, B2K just broke up as a group, and they got to make a movie about it. I said, and who's going to play Omarion? It's got to be Leon, because he plays all the lead singers when groups break up. I say, the only problem is he's going to be mixing up. God. He's going to be mixing up the movies, and he's going to be doing B2K. He's like, without Omarion, y'all just a fake-ass B2K. You ungrateful sons of bitches. Like that. And that's how I ended my set, was, you ungrateful sons of... Thank you, guys. And they didn't laugh. I was likable. They liked me, but they knew I didn't know what I was doing. And it was like, but I had a big shiny shirt with a shiny collar. What? It was incredible.
How long did you do, though?
I was supposed to do, I think, 5. I probably did 4 and some change.
Okay.
But it's definitely nothing like it. It was my true experience of what nerves are.
Yeah.
When you were approaching, so you're like, yo, this is awkward.
Right.
So if somebody ever asks me, are you nervous? I'm like, no. That was nervous. And I've had that experience in stand-up, but nothing in my life ever even came close to it.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So, like, were you shaking while you were holding the mic too? Like,
No, you know how stand up is, man. It's like once you get the mic, it kind of eases. It's like, oh, this is a comfortable place. Like, you feel empowered. But behind the stage, all the way up, the walk up, all that feels away until it's like, like that,
Well, I think me is like I need to get that first laugh off.
Okay.
Once I pop that first laugh, I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay,
But if that opener doesn't get anything, then it's like, okay, wait a minute. You got to kind of recalibrate, and then your nerves really start.
You got to
working on
reattack.
it.
Absolutely. Yeah, but no, it was the first time I started in Houston with good friends of mine. I'm still cool with them now, man. So
That's good.
Good times, man. Houston, Texas. They reopened the club too on like the opposite side of town. Don't count.
So what has been your best show thus far?
Oh wow. I mean, I've had. You know what's funny, man? When you do stand up, like in Denver, Colorado, I toured with Don DC Curry, and I had them weekends there. It was I was in the zone.
Yeah.
The times, almost every time I've done the Sacramento Punchline, been in that zone because I know exactly what my crowd is. A couple of the Laugh Factory dates. I did the Chocolate Sundays a couple of times. There was one time I went up after Mike Epps, and he destroyed. And the stuff I heard through the grapevine was like, yo, still to this day, that's like one of the best sets I've seen here in like 2 years. Like that. Wow. And this is from people that are there all the time. Yeah. So I've had the zone out there too. The Magic Johnson show, I had a really good set there, but like I want to say that one because it was captured. When you do stand up, if it's like, I can tell you about it, but that
if it's not on video,
if it's not on video,
nothing,
And now I don't know how it's gonna play. I don't know how they edit it. I have no control over that. I know in the moment felt incredible. Right. So every now and then you get that, you get that glow.
And because like it's magical too. I feel like there's something magical about it when you're in the groove, you know, and
absolutely.
you're like, okay, I'm in this space,
absolutely,
and everything's clicking. Any little thing, any little movement you do, any little hilarious.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. See, for me, I do great with black crowds. I do great with white crowds. When the crowd is balanced, when it's about 60-40, and they get my randomness. Okay. Like I may throw something random in there that's like I said, true to my humor, that's kind of just for me. Yeah. It's just my little spin on it. But if you hear that, you're gonna love me at a totally different level. Yeah. You're gonna give me JB Smooth gut busting laughter. You know what I mean? Like I randomly in one of my jokes is like one of them. There's a reference to Jim. If you get Jim is truly outrageous, truly outrageous. If you could remember that Jim used to come on after Thundercats, in between Silverhawks, and like if you get that reference, you're gonna love me. Those people, I still sell tickets to those people.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So what has been your worst show then?
Oh gosh. I had a weekend. I mean, it's funny because every show you learn something from. Yeah. Tunica, Mississippi. Okay. Don't know why. And I'm calling that one because it was recent. It's like at this point in time, it's like, come on, man. Like, I know this worked. I was here before, y'all. Yeah. I know it worked. And I went and I think the material to me may have gotten stale or just the performance of it, but something about it wasn't clicking. And the dude went up before me, the local hero, and he ripped. Right. And I went up, I was like, all right, let me show him how it's really done. And it didn't happen.
Nothing.
And now,
wait, was it booze or was it just silence?
It was just kind of silence. But the second, they still like me, but it was like, Yeah. But the funny part is, it was 3 shows on a Saturday. The second show is why that one was worse, because I was like, okay, let me move some stuff around, because the last one, now I'm ready. Worse. It was worse than the show. I was like, what is wrong with me? And DC won't let me live. Like, it's rough out there, huh? You should start singing or something. I'm like, man, it's like, what in the world? And then After I figured it out, it was better, but that was one of
Yeah.
Like I had a rough set the other day, but I ain't count it. It's like you could tell when it's like weird things happening.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with K-Dub out of Atlanta, my boy named Jackson. He was like, "Yeah, in Atlanta you got booed." I was like, "Not really." It was like you at the Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta. The club. They set the impression that it's okay to give comics issues. So they'll shake keys at you on Wednesdays, like keys like that. Or like, a group of people, like everybody, celebrities, like, oh, they say, at this time, the trend was, we ain't even worry about it or something like that. Some little random thing that they do. So they doing it while I'm on stage, like, we ain't even worry about it. I'm like, are y'all heckling me? So then I start digging in on the girl, but I'm not a good heckler. All my stuff is vicious. So it was like, I hope you don't make it home like that. It was like, and so it was like all this aggressive stuff, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. And then another part of the crowd, they was like, no, wait, don't leave. And I was like, you know what? It was just so it was like one of them weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird show, but that Tunica show, no, just an L.
Right,
just a L to the face.
Well, I mean,
man.
But do you feel that you grew from it though?
Absolutely, because by the Sunday show and even the Friday shows were fine. It was like. It was I still came off as a professional and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But then that same energy kind of trickled over into Birmingham, but it wasn't the same reaction. And then I realized I was talking like over the crowd. Like I wasn't in the moment. I wasn't present. And sometimes you just have to call it to the table like, hey, you guys, listen, this all works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then after that was addressed, then everything worked out a whole lot better.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's since then haven't even been issues like that, especially on the road.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I never know what I'm up against, man.
But okay, because you said that you really go in with hecklers.
Yeah.
So what has been like your worst heckler experience, and then like what did you say to kind of shut them down?
I mean, like I won't. Okay, so I'm not a heckler. Let me just be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Perdue. Just be honest, Nick Perdue.
It's just me and you.
It's just me and you.
Millions of other people watching, but
millions of people
watching.
watching. When I step on stage, I'll be honest with you. Very often, not very often, but there's a tone of people not liking me because I'm very likable.
Yeah.
But I'm doing shoes, scarf.
Right.
After Earth haircut.
Right.
It's like I'm setting myself up for what are you gonna be on? Like that. So I have to attack it right out the gate. Right out the gate and empty their clips, and then everybody comes, oh, okay, he's cool.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's what I'm up against. So like with hecklers, like randomly I did the show not too long ago, and they were giving everybody the nonsense.
Okay.
So I got on stage and everybody was just kind of doing their set, and they was kind of letting that go, but they was kind of being disrespectful. And I sat down, and I was like, listen, hey, you guys, I was taught a long time ago, if they don't want to hear the jokes, don't give them to them.
Right.
If they don't want material, don't give. I'll save it for another show. Like, hey, listen, man, I just sat down like, we're not gonna do this to each other. I'm hilarious, and y'all love me. And there was two girls in the crowd like, we do like you. Right. And there was another girl that was like, she didn't like me. And then it was and then this other girl, she just said out loud, she was like, we want to hear Drunken Love in the middle of my set. And I'm like, oh, really? I was like, you know what? Now, if I play it, what you going to do?
Right.
So it was at the comedy show. They dropped the spotlights. I step onto the crowd. She give me a lap dance. So that don't feel like an L to me.
No, that's not L.
Nobody else got a lap dance.
Right.
And the host left the show. If the host say, I'm done for the night.
The host left the show.
Yeah, he was done. He's like, I'm not going back out there. My energy's not right. I'm tired.
Right.
They're not right. Y'all have it. A couple people was like, we don't want to do this show tonight. Can you rebook us? It was like, okay, so if that's the case, then let it be that.
Right.
I take that back. Worst time a heckler ever got me. Philadelphia. I was on tour. We was on the New Jack City's tour, and Spanky, that tours with Spank, with that tours with Kevin Hart, brought me on stage. This show at the Laugh House, I don't think it's there anymore in Philly, was incredible. It was packed, 300 people, and I'm gonna kill it.
Right.
Now, at this point in time, I've always had my things, but I'm not a tennis shoe guy. Just haven't, and I go on stage, and I'll never forget this. And before I can even say anything, there was people laughing. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, nothing, man. Go ahead, do your set. I'm like, all right. So anyway, y'all. So what's that? Oh my God. Man, y'all got to tell me what's going on. No, just go ahead. You found. Oh, man, but look at him though. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all, you're killing the show now. You have to tell me.
Right.
I say, man, they laughing at your shoes. I'm like, what's wrong with my shoes? They was like, man, they dusty. I was like, I'm like, what? And I was like, I said, okay, so the rest of your crowd, let's address this because they're not gonna let this live.
Right.
And I took the shoe off and I held it up and they all fell out. And
Really?
everybody. So as the show goes on, start getting to the set, a third of the crowd was laughing at the jokes. A third of the crowd didn't like me because my shoes was terrible. And a third of the crowd was laughing at the fact my shoes were terrible in their own little way.
Right.
That was definitely one of the worst shows. That was by far one of the worst. Spank came on stage and said, did he walk here from Sacramento? It was, oh my God. Oh, it was so terrible. From that day, I say I will not. Once you venture past like DC, you have to have brand new shoes on.
Yeah, they have to be clean.
Oh,
even if you're gonna take them back, right?
Even if you're gonna take them back.
If it's just for that show, just have your shoes crispy.
I did not know.
Wow.
Rather, and I was like, are we doing? I got some Prada shoes in the car. They call
Right.
them on everybody shoes. I'm sure of it, but that's for a suit. I'm just whatever, you guys. So
That's funny. How often do you write new material, and like where do you come up with new material?
I've come to find, and all comics, you can take this to the heart, man. We be so focused on the business sometimes, you forget to live. Living helps me write. I can have a conversation with a couple of my friends that are not comedians, and I'll have a whole lot of stuff. Like, I'm not a comic that sits down and writes and writes and writes. I won't write for a while, and then I'll get a large chunk. It's like I haven't wrote nothing in 4 months, and then all of a sudden, for the past 2 weeks, I don't know why, but all these things came into play, and it's like now there's a new 20 minutes. So I write in like these huge chunks, but I can't sit down and tediously write. When I do, it's not stand up. It's like movies or sketches or whatever maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so then let me ask you this though, and because to reference your movie Joke Thief, they're in these comedy clubs out here.
Yeah.
There's folks who are notorious for stealing jokes. We're not gonna name any names.
Yeah.
They know who they are. So what is your take on people stealing other people's material? And kind of changing it up and giving it their own flavor, like what your character did in the movie Joke Thief. It was actually really good, guys.
Please check out the movie. We're in the Oakland Film Festival. This on April 6th. It's all wrong. There's some brand. I've had conversations with comics where they were like, "Oh, but it's stock." There's no such thing as a stock joke. For every comedian that's gonna watch this, there's no such thing as a stock joke. Somebody wrote that, and it's theirs.
Yeah.
And you're on stage, you work out your own stuff. As far as comedians stealing material, if the joke is so obvious a reference, I need you to not hold on to it like that. Like, I got a joke about the president being black too. It's like, come on, son. Like, we all seen it. Or if you're writing topical stuff, then I need you to not do it. But I have material that it's clear that it's mine. I've had it for years, and sometimes I don't even do it because of how well it's written or how much I personally appreciate it. As far as remixing, I think you got to really be careful on, like, you know what I don't like? I don't like when people steal essences. Like, if you have a joke or a way that you set up a joke or a way that you set up or a premise or punchline, and people start doing it like that, it's like now it's a new reference. Like, I do a joke about spelling and so on and so forth, and I've noticed that now my cadence is getting picked up specifically for jokes that aren't about spelling, but anything that's in a text. It's like I'm just watching how you do it, and I know that you're around me enough to know that sounds like me, and you're just not taking the time to do it.
Right.
So
Right.
I really just chalk it up to being funny, and I'll be fine.
So speaking of stealing people's essences, let's even talk about last names. Brando Murphy, the whole thing. What is your take on the Brando Murphy situation?
I saw Brando. It's funny. I saw Brando 2 days ago. I don't know. He looks like Eddie.
He does look like
Eddie.
I will give that to him, but with the mustache, he looks like Eddie.
I don't know if that's not Eddie's kid. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say Eddie was getting a lot of,
right?
A lot of that warm
in the 80s.
in the 80s, you know what I mean? So I don't know to say if it's just literally you're gonna you got to grow your own legs. It's not gonna help. When you get on stage, it's not gonna help.
Yeah.
If anything, it's gonna make it worse. And that's me having a conversation with Mason. Like, that's Damon Jr. starting and not even going under that name at first because he wanted to get his legs out the way. You don't want that pressure? That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go
Try it
ahead.
out. Try it out, see what happens.
It's not gonna help you. You go and be try to follow a Patrice O'Neal name or call yourself W Junior Smooth or something. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm JB Smooth. Like, okay, we'll see how this works out for you.
Right.
Because they're gonna expect a lot. You're gonna just make it hard on yourself. No way to cheat comedy. You can't cheat that stage.
That's true.
Can't cheat that stage.
It's one of the last forms of like, just comedic expression and like freedom, and you can literally say anything that you want to say.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, it's like if you're funny, you'll have some longevity in your career.
Absolutely.
If you're not funny,
yeah,
you're not really gonna have that much longevity. Like you'll weed yourself out.
Yeah, and you can't. And there's no way you can't steal funny.
Right.
So it's like the people that it's gonna if this was music, eventually everybody starts looking for the same producers because that's what's hot.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it okay, but it definitely creates for understanding. I had a conversation with a dude that writes books, and his concept behind it was let me get all my ideas out as fast as possible before somebody else comes up with it. Not like I'm this genius and nobody else would ever think of this. It's like, let me come out with this because this is such a great idea. Somebody else is bound to have it.
Right.
So I've kind of always just took it like that. Like, if you're going to steal, I don't care if you steal. Just don't steal from me.
Right.
Like, don't steal from me because I'll have a conversation with you.
Right.
And it don't even have to be violent. I'll honestly try to help. Like, listen, you sound like me or like somebody else. And I know because I've sounded like somebody else.
Yeah.
That's if it wasn't Keisha Hunt pulled me and a couple of my friends aside and said, all you guys sound like Ali Sadiq. And that was the veteran that we knew, and it wasn't on purpose. It's kind of like when you and your boys are out talking and y'all talk like that all the time.
You just kind of pick it up.
You just kind of pick up how y'all talk. But
Right.
now the problem is when all your friends are comedians, now I keep seeing people trying to sound like Tony Baker. It's like Tony has a certain...
on, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Get in on this, guys.
Get on. It's like, you can't do that. That's his essence. Like, let Tony be Tony like that. And I had a conversation where we was like, we're so sick of this. Because a lot of young comics, it's like, if you live in L.A. and you see him enough, he's a favorite. Just like, you start sounding like him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, and then there's that.
Yeah. Well, okay. And then so you, when you started, you kind of modeled your style after Ali.
I did. It was never. I was always my own style. The only thing that happened with me when I started, everybody told me to slow down. And until watching comics like Tony Roberts, Tony made me comfortable in going fast. Then I start touring with DC Curry, and DC made me understand that you have to have something to say. You have to have a point of view. You have to have reference and be true to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very powerful to be captivating. It's just as powerful to have the silence and have them paying attention as it is to go fast. So it was never stealing Ali's material or something like that. It was like, as comics, we all talk like each other. And it was me, my homeboy Blaine, my homeboy Billy Cereus. We all talk like each other. And we all see the comic that we see you do the most time is him. And honestly, I didn't even see him that often. I saw Billy all the time though.
Yeah.
So me and Billy and Blame sounded somewhat similar, and some of that sounded like Ali. And it was never specific, it was never material. It was just like, wow.
the way you talk.
Yeah. And she was grossed out. Keisha Hunt cussed me out. She like, ugh, y'all sound like Ali. And I was like, okay, that's enough of this.
So, all right, let me ask you this question about internet comedians versus the traditional stand-up comedians. Because especially right now with the Vines and the YouTubes and the Twitters and stuff like that, there's a lot of folks who are internet sensations who believe that they're funny enough to take their talents to the stage.
Yeah.
So what is your take on these people who are making money because they have this name and they have this following, and then they go on stage and and they get their butt handed to them? You know
what? I'm not mad at them. Because like I know, stage don't lie.
Right.
And you're gonna have to figure it out. And there's no way to cheat it. There's no way to force feed you. I don't care how many followers you have on Twitter or Vine. Any city And you don't. There's a good chance you don't want to follow me. There's a good chance, like that you don't want that issues with your crowd.
Yeah.
With your people that came to see you, you probably don't want those issues. So I'm not mad at them. Do what you do. If y'all want to come in, cool, so on and so forth. I'm more aggravated with the industry paying so much attention to it because comedy's such a disrespected art. It's like,
Right.
because this person has more followers or more so on and so forth, one doesn't mean that they're better for this situation than me. It's like I get the numbers, but the other thing that's really real is the numbers aren't translating.
Right.
Sometimes they translate into ticket sales, but if the show's crap, the show's crap. You can only fool the people so many times.
Sure.
And like even on, the things that because the only thing that makes you bigger as a stand-up is everything except for stand-up. It's like, you need movies, you need TV. So it's like they're taking those people and moving them into movies or TV. And a lot of times the numbers don't translate.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart can send out a text or a tweet and a certain amount of people can show up, but that's because he's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And for all the industry people that are going to watch us, listen, you don't just come up with 10 million followers.
Right.
There ain't enough tweeting in the world. Ain't enough vining in the world to just have that. Like, you need things to set that in place. And the only way to even kind of get that is you got to be ahead of it. You try and get 5 million followers on Vine now, it's going to take you a really long time.
Yeah.
I know the people that have 5 million. I know the people that have 2 million, and it's extremely hard, especially now that everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
That's who I'm. Hey, all you Vine people, stop taking comedians' material and making Vines out of them.
Right.
This is getting ridiculous. That's really what it is. I don't care what you're doing on the internet. You come up with something, hey, man, I be enjoying a lot of this stuff. Have at it. I need you to not be using comics material like they didn't write it and then doing it. I don't care where you saw them at.
Joke thief.
Joke thieves.
Right. And Hollywood, especially Black Hollywood, it's notorious, especially for Black comedians. In order to really blow up, they gotta quote unquote wear the dress. Play that role. Yeah. What is your take on that? Like, will you put on a dress for a role? Would you play a gay character? Like would you do that? If someone was like, okay, we'll put you on, but this is what you gotta do, and then you'll be the next big thing.
The producer in me doesn't believe that I have to. If I write all my own projects, and it's like, now this is real. If I wrote a character that I felt like needed my voice, male or female, and it needed for me to be this, if Eddie Murphy and the Nutty Professor exists, and I'm like, no, I know exactly how this grandmother's supposed to sound, or this old woman, or this version of my mom. Nobody know my mom better than me. Right. Nobody. Right. So it's like, then I kind of get it. For the essence of just the opportunity, like, here you go, I'm good. Because as a businessman, I know that it's like we live in an age where you don't need that. I know how to write movies. Yeah. I know how to, and they're good. And if I just put the money, I could base it on me. And situations like Kevin Hart make it believable, because the reason Kevin's super winning is because he's working from the top. Yeah. And our generation of comedians, he's like, he's our top generation's comedians. Like, we work from the top. It's like, if you get there and you sitting and waiting for people to do stuff for you, then you're going to always be waiting. But when he's creating his own show and then he has another show coming out that, we got friends in, he's not even in the show. Yeah. It's based around his life. And NBC, he's nowhere to be. Yeah. You take that money and then you do something else. Right. And they don't believe that, American comedy translates, and then you go overseas and you prove it. It's like, so I'm very much in that vein. I'll gladly take my own personal grind worth selling my soul and, having my son having to look at this, or my, my daughter, or so on and so forth. Yeah. And that's just, your daddy. Yeah, I don't have no problem with people that do it. It's just not personally what I want to do. Okay. You got to protect your brand, man.
There you go.
I'm trying to protect your brand.
There you go. Speaking of your brand, people can get you on Laugh Mob's Who Got Next, right? On Aspire. This is Magic Johnson's new channel. If you guys don't have it, tweet your local providers, whatever. Let them know that you want the Magic Johnson channel.
Absolutely. April 8th. April 8th.
Comes on April 8th. And then because you were on Bounce TV's Off the Chain, hosted by Rodney Perry.
Yes. I saw the people from Off the Chain, too, the other day. Yeah, I just did that. I did the first season, and I just did the Aspire show. So super juice. Super juice.
Of course, like we were talking about, we have a Joke Thief that you said it's in the Oakland, right?
Yeah, Joke Thief we're doing before it comes online, because a lot of people get asking, when we going to get to see it in Cleveland? I'm like, you have a film festival? Because right now I'm doing the film festival run. That was the point of it. It was to be a vehicle to hit the film festivals, and my manager Tony Spires has been making films for years. He's he's not new to it, and it was honestly for us to all get our feet wet back in that genre. So more likely than everybody seeing that, like it'll be a feature coming down the line.
Okay.
That's really what we're working towards.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
My next major project is called She Wins. I can't even really say anything too much about it because it's creating a new genre. It doesn't exist. If like we spoke about the internet comics and we spoke about like the movies, that they offer, there's a space in the middle for the transition. There's a space in the middle because the numbers don't translate, because they say, hey, have your YouTube video or whatever, it has to be 3 minutes, you need to make this, you got to put this stuff in it for you have a whole bunch of views to get a whole bunch of subscribers. I'm like, but that's formulaic and that's not artistic, and I don't want to be part of that. And it's like, but they're not going to watch it if it's longer than 3 minutes. I was like, why? Because nobody wants to sit in front of their computer that long. I say, but people binge watch stuff on Netflix in front of their computer for hours. So I found a middle ground, and She Wins will be that we start filming next month. Perfect. So very, very, very excited about that.
There you go. And then so where can people see you live, BT?
Let's check into the calendar. I'll be at the Oakland Film Festival. Most importantly, come to that if you can, if you're in the Bay Area. I have Baltimore the 17th to the 20th. If you see Don D.C. Curry and the city is not Chicago or Atlanta, I'm probably there. So I tour with Don D.C. Curry. So Columbia, South Carolina, I'll be headlining the 30th and the 1st. And then DC will be there the next days. That happens pretty often. I'll come in and do some of the days, and he'll do, he'll headline it. He'll
clean up your mess.
He'll clean up the mess. Yeah, I'll do the headline. I do like a couple of headlining dates early in the week, and then I'll feature for him for the weekend. So Columbia, South Carolina, and I won't go too far. So let's just stay there. 17th to the 20th, Baltimore Comedy Factory. 30th to the 4th, South Carolina.
Perfect. Yeah. There you go. And then you could. Where can your fans find you online?
At BT Kingsley. That's Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Black Planet, eHarmony, Plenty of Fish, JDate, Christian Mingle. I'm on Christian Mingle. Gotta be. Ain't nothing better than that Christian. Okay. Yeah. And I'll be in the IE on the 3rd.
Perfect.
Check me on Facebook and stuff.
There you go. Thanks, man.
I appreciate it, Perdue. It was great times, you guys.
Man.
Nobody's ever danced on the show. I'm dancing till the camera comes off. Look at those shoulders. Go.
Thank you guys for watching. As always, you can find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue. I'll see you next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.